Hi, Mika here from Superchat, and welcome to Superchat Rewind 2024, the format where we will take you on a journey on what we've built this year. So we will show you all the new features that we added this year so that you can really try to make the most out of our product. So lean back and enjoy. See you then. The unified inbox. It's the heart of Superchat, and in 2024 we gave it a whole bunch of very thoughtful small upgrades. Small improvements that make a big difference in how you manage your conversations in Superchat. So let's get right into it. Here we are in our unified inbox, and let's get started right away with here on the left hand side with our inbox sidebar. And at first glance, not that much has changed, but we actually added a little thing here. If we go under the inboxes, we see a new option here, and we can now mute individual inboxes. Super powerful if you are part of an inbox, but don't really collaborate there or respond to any messages. And you just don't need to get all the notifications from these inboxes. You can now just go ahead and mute them. Now, next we have our sorting for conversations. So here you can really sort all your conversations by newest, oldest, and longest waiting. Super powerful and was like really requested from a lot of you. That's the reason why we added it. And then here, these should be well known already. Here we have the display options of showing the assignment, label, and the inbox in the conversation preview list, making all the information just super accessible. Now, here we can see that here for this contact and conversation, the label new lead was already added. Just keep that in mind because that will be relevant in a second. But yeah, now let's go ahead and actually check out our conversation filter. This we also already had last year, but now we added something. So let's first start with filtering here by the label new lead. Now we just will apply the filter here by filter. And now you can see, okay, filter is active. Of course, the conversation shows because the label new lead was already applied. But what we now are able to do is we can save this filter. Super powerful to kind of create nested folders or like nested inboxes. So now all we have to do is like we select an icon here. Let's pick this one, and now we have to give the conversation view a name. In this case we call it new leads. Now we can decide whether to make the view accessible for all users or just for us. In our case we will make it public for all users, and that's about it. We hit save and now it's been added. And now here you can see on the left hand side here, now we have this new section with new leads, and here you can really now go crazy and create all your conversation views, just making your inbox even more organized, less chaos for you and your team. So definitely a feature worth checking out. Exactly. Now we covered this, so let's go ahead into the chat header. So here under more, we added one little thing, as you can see here, the search. So besides our global search, we now have a conversation search. So here you can really only search for messages, attachments, notes, and individual conversations. Here we are looking for the word parte because here this customer wrote us in Spanish and just like asking, hey, whether we still have the couch available and until when the Black Friday deals are valid. So, and he sent an image of that couch. So that's actually, let's look at the image first. So we can open it, that you should already know, but we added a little thing that makes working with attachments a lot more powerful. You can now open attachments in a new window here. And now you can really make it bigger, make it smaller. You can drag and drop everywhere. And it doesn't matter where you are going now in Superchat, the new window will stay there. You really have to dismiss it and then it's gone. But you could now also go into other conversations, into the team chat, and copy paste, from a PDF. Also, maybe like the driver license ID, whatsoever. So super powerful when you're working a lot with attachments. Now here in the chat controller, you already see Hi Miguel is already pre-filled. Now you really only need to hit tab, and then this is pre-filled, and then you can start typing right away. So making just like writing messages a lot faster. So now let's respond here in English. I'm unfortunately not able to speak Spanish, so we will write a response here in English saying that the couch is still available and that the Black Friday deals are still valid until next, let's say, Wednesday. And as you can see here, I have a couple of typos. That doesn't really matter because now we have an AI feature, our AI Copilot. You can already see it here in the bottom menu, here this blue button, or it's also accessible via the shortcut Command J. Now let's actually hit this, and now we can already see kind of what we are able to do. We can either edit text, so here you can see, we can correct a spelling, make shorter, use simpler language, you can translate, or you can also, create text. So when we don't have text yet in the chat controller, you can also say what to write, and we are generating the message for you. Now we are already working with something, but let's hit translate to Spanish and add emojis, so we can completely customize the command that we want to do on this message. And now we are happy with the result, confirm, and now I think that looks good, so we can already send it out to the customer. Super powerful. As you can see, emojis were added and the entire thing was translated to Spanish, exactly what we needed. Now we also have this slash menu here where you can access all data from all contact attributes from that contact. Like this way, you don't always need to copy and paste the things, but instead you just all you have to do is hit slash and everything is accessible. So like in this case, we might want to ask whether this is his right order number. So all we need to do is say, is this your order number, hit slash order number, and that's it. Now we of course still have to translate everything. So translate to Spanish, here we go, it's done, and hit send. So as you can see, super powerful, makes working in Superchat just a lot faster and more efficient. Now we can also access emojis here with this shortcut, super powerful as well. And yeah, these are all small features. And then we also added one last thing here in the chat controller, our GIF menu. So as you can see here, making it super simple and fun to send out GIFs to customers, especially relevant, for messengers, WhatsApp, Instagram. Just makes everything a little bit more fun, a little bit more personal for both the end customer and of course all agents and users. Perfect. Now let's go on the right hand side here to contact information. Here at the top right, we have a new button where you can customize everything. So here you are really able to change the order of your custom and system contact attributes, and you are even able to pin specific contact attributes, especially important if a couple of contact attributes are very important and relevant to you. You can just fixate them and then they are displayed here, making them always accessible for you. So that's it. One last thing, just hit Command K. Here we go. And now we introduced a command menu. So by hitting Command K, you can access it. And here you now have access to all actions just with the help of your keyboard, so you don't have to use the mouse anymore. And this makes it super powerful to work very fast in Superchat. So here you can do really everything, from assigning a conversation to moving into another inbox to adding labels and so on and so forth. And all you have to do is really type in what you want to do, and we kind of already automatically detect what you want to do. So making it really fast, really convenient for you. So definitely try this out just by hitting Command K and just basically typing whatever action you want to execute. That's our unified inbox. Streamlined, efficient, and ready to go. And in 2025, there's already so much more to look forward to. So see you in the next video.
WhatsApp Business, the perfect solution for quick and direct customer communication. In 2024, we really enhanced our core messaging features surrounding WhatsApp. This allows you to have even more natural conversations, work more efficiently, and always provide the best experience to your contacts. So let's dive in. So here we are in the settings section of Superchat, and let's dive right into all the news we just shipped for WhatsApp Business by creating a WhatsApp template. So first of all, let's give our template a name. We could use sneaker promotion fall in 2024. And also if you want to include something like a discount code, it makes sense to also say like 20% discount. We choose the category and then start crafting our marketing message. So I usually go with text and some variables, as well as some emojis to make the message a bit more engaging and feeling more natural on a conversation or like a medium like WhatsApp. After we finished creating the basis for our WhatsApp template, let's look at the first update that we shipped. You can now persist image headers or any document headers with the template itself. That means you don't have to upload the same image or document over and over again. Just tick that box and the image or our document will stick with the template. Another new feature we shipped is the possibility to combine different kind of buttons. So you could go with a dynamic URL button and mix it with a quick reply button. That's very handy if you want to combine CTAs or drip campaigns or drip cadences in one template. Let's go with the dynamic CTA here. The dynamic URL or dynamic CTA can include a base URL and a dynamic URL extension. So the base URL is just a link to our web shop, while the URL extension can have any kind of dynamic parameters. When creating a template, we just enter an example here, but later on in campaigns or automations, we replace the data with dynamic data from contacts or automations. The second button is a quick reply button, which is very handy to start drip cadences. For instance, we could just use a button like "Remind me later, please." As our template is approved, let's have a look how it actually looks like when we send that template. So here I just start a new campaign for demoing the features of that template, including the dynamic URL and the persisted header file. I just use a descriptive name for the campaign name here again, and then select the right number or channel I want to send the template from, as well as the template itself. As I can see, the header image is directly persisted with the template, and I now can enter dynamic parameters in the URL extension. For instance, I have that voucher code and want to actually fill that with the contact attribute of customer number. I could also use any other attribute here as well. Let's continue by selecting a new recipient. For testing purposes, I'm gonna select myself here and then hit continue. Finally, just check that I sent the campaign immediately and also toggle on the opt-in toggle. Now the campaign is sent. Let's just move over to the inbox and check how the template actually looks like and if everything worked out. So as you can see here, the template has our persisted header image and the two types of buttons, the dynamic CTA button as well as the quick reply button. As you can see, there's another new update to our inbox messaging. You can now directly reply to contacts messages, as well as contacts can directly reply to your messages, and it looks all well organized in the inbox. And we ship one more update to our unified inbox and especially the WhatsApp messaging. It's quick reactions. Quick reactions allow you to send quick reactions as well as receive them on WhatsApp messages. This makes conversations with your customers feel even more natural and easy flowing. Those were our new features for the WhatsApp Business API. And don't worry, in 2025, we're gonna launch more features for the WhatsApp Business API as soon as they become available on Meta's API. So stay tuned and see what's coming next. We received a ton of feature requests on the WhatsApp newsletter and also shipped a lot of features for that. with our new sending logic and audience building experience, we support you even better for larger campaigns as well as smaller campaigns. So let's have a look together. Now we are in the Campaigns tab of Superchat. We shipped a lot of new features for WhatsApp marketing and campaigns, and let's dive right in by creating a new campaign. First of all, you can see that we revamped the entire UI to give you more structure while creating and planning campaigns. So you have now individual sections for you to go through and have it as a home when starting a new campaign. Let's start with the basics here and give our campaign a descriptive name so that we know who we send it to or why we send out the campaign in the first place. Let's continue by selecting the right channel as well as the right template for our campaign. Here in the preview, as well as on the right-hand side's preview, you can see we already have a header image persisted, as well as two buttons, one dynamic URL button, as well as a quick reply button. Let's finish the setup for the message content here by adding the URL extension. We add dynamic URL parameter and then also can map contact attributes or any other attribute here to that parameter. That's very handy for sending out individualized links or promotional codes, for instance. We also shipped a major update to how you can work with recipients lists and audiences. We launched static audiences and dynamic audiences. Static audiences allow you to send to individual recipients and select them individually from the contact list. Dynamic audiences, in turn, allow you to define filter rules, and any contact who matches the filter rules on sending will be included in your campaign. That's particularly useful for sending to larger audiences. Let us check that out by creating a few filters. First of all, I create a marketing filter that contains true, so that I have my own marketing opt-in definition here. I also want to include people in my campaign who are interested in certain topics, for instance sneakers, so I add this filter too. When I now click on filter, only people and recipients will be included who exactly match this criteria. On the overview page, you now see that you selected and built a dynamic audience. All there's left to do is to check when we actually want to send the campaign and toggle on the opt-in statement. Once that is done, you can hit send or schedule depending if you want to send right now or schedule the campaign. That's it. Once you've sent a campaign, you land in our new campaigns home, where you can see all the details of your campaign as well as the campaign funnel. The campaign funnel shows you who the message got delivered to, who read the message, and also who responded to the message. We also shipped a major update towards how you can work with recipients of your campaign. First of all, you can filter your recipients based on all filter criteria there are. And secondly, you can select recipients by their delivery status or read status and then add them right to a new campaign. This is perfect for creating re-engagement campaigns on WhatsApp. That was the new WhatsApp newsletter. You see more features and more functions for sending smaller campaigns as well as larger campaigns, such as the faster sending logic, the new UI, or our new audience building feature. But we are not stopping there. In 2025, we already planned a lot of new features for WhatsApp newsletter and for WhatsApp marketing in general. So stay tuned and see what's coming next.
Automations, the game changer when it comes to working smarter and not harder. This year, we introduced a ton of new features, new triggers, new actions, and new workflows to supercharge your productivity. Let's check them out.
Here we are already in our automation builder, and I prepared a whole bunch of automations for you, and we will go through all of them so that I can really showcase you how you can also really use all of these new features. And we will start off with all the new triggers that we have built this year. So down here we can already see an automation with the manual trigger. Now if I zoom in here, you can already see the manual trigger in action. And basically what this is this allows you to manually trigger automations from the unified inbox. In the chat controller of the Unified Inbox, you will see a new icon, flash icon, and from there you can basically build here in our no-code automation builder marketing sequences or also like complete chat flows in order to kick start automations. In this example here, I will just showcase you one of the many things that you can do with it. But here I basically said that this trigger should be available in all inboxes. Here you can also change this to make really some automations only accessible for specific inboxes. Now all we are doing here is this one is specifically built for WhatsApp. We will thank a new lead for basically contacting us and then asking here whether they are already a customer of Superchat or not. And then depending on whether they click on yes or no, we will guide them through a chat flow. Here, for example, in the case if they are a customer, we will ask for the email and then validate the email and then assign the conversation to one of our support agents. And similar here, the other way, we will just say thank you for reaching out, and we'll basically ask, what they kind of want to do with Superchat, so that we can assign it to a sales agent that the lead is already, a little bit more prepared to jump into a sales meeting. So that's basically the manual trigger. I think very straightforward. You can do a whole bunch of different things with it. So really be creative. Next one on our list is the date and time trigger. So here I think there's a very big use case for this one. And here you can already see it. It's like automated birthday reminder via WhatsApp, or just like greeting like customers on their birthday, and maybe sending them a voucher, for example, to really get them back into your shop, or that they are buying a product or service again from you. I think very, very personal touch and a very nice way of interacting with your customers again. And as you can see, how this works is basically the date and time trigger is based on one of your contact attributes that you set up in Superchat. In our case, the birthday contact attribute. And on the date of the birthday, we are sending a WhatsApp message that we will see in a second at 8:30 a.m. and we will of course want to repeat this every year. So very straightforward. It's only 2 nodes, super simple. And now what happens is, like, every year on the customer's birthday, we send out on 8:30 at 8:30 a birthday reminder saying, hey, happy birthday, first name, we at Superchat hope your day is amazing as you, and so on and so forth. And really here having like a voucher for the next order. And so as you can see here, you can do a lot with a very simple automation. Sometimes simple automations really go a long way. That brings us to the next trigger, and the next trigger is this one, conversation marked as done. And as you see here, I haven't prepped anything here, so let's build one really quick together. So here, what you can do here is, this is specifically relevant for workflows. So what you can say here, hey, for like all these channels, every time the conversation is marked as done. For example, we have some customers that want to unassign the conversation again. So all we can do here is assign conversation, and then here click on reset assignment. And this way you build a very, very easy workflow, again, just with 2 nodes here in this case. Next one will be already actions. So now we will start looking into the new actions that we have built during the last 12 months. And actually here starting off with, let's do the internal node action, but here I actually showcase 2 things. So here I built a very easy automation, as you can see here. When a new message comes in via this channel, and it contains the keyword interested, we are basically just pre-qualifying the lead in this case. So we asked 2 questions. What is your budget? Then we are waiting for a number here in this case, as you can see here, response type number. And then we are asking a follow-up question, and this one is about what what car they are interested in. So this is really an example from a car dealership, for example. Works of course for all use cases. And then we here are asking for, image of the person's driver license. And this is the first new action that we added. So we had the waiting for reply action previously, but we now also support the response type image, but not only image, also PDF, video, and document, or also one that just like takes in all file types. So here you can really specifically ask for like a document or a specific type of document, and we will validate it for you. And if the user now here in this case really only sends you a text message, then we will throw him an error message that you can also completely customize. So super powerful if you are actually asking the contact like during some of your automations for an image or for another document. Now here in the next one we can already see yet another new action, the create note action, and this is I think especially relevant for summarizing things at the end of an automation. There are also definitely other use cases, but here in this example I leveraged this action for this purpose. So here all I'm doing is kind of leaving a note at the very end of this automation, just saying, hey, summary of what the kind of automation already did for the agent that will now look manually into the customer. Just, here listing out the budget with the variables, okay, budget, car type, and then answer from preferred car type. So this is just the name of the node, as you can see here. And now we will just add, the budget that the lead provided, the same thing with the car type. So here in this example, SUV, station wagon, or compact car. Exactly. So like these are already like two very powerful new actions, but we have another one, especially like more relevant for all of you that are a little bit more tech savvy, and that's the HTTP request action. So as we can see here, I am using it twice here in this automation, just to showcase you what you can really do with it. This is just like really one example. Like this one's super powerful and you can basically do whatever with it. So here, once again, when we get a new lead or new customers messaging us over this channel, then we are here in this case are doing a get request. We are supporting all bunch of methods here: get, patch, put, post, and delete. Here in this case, what I'm doing is like a very simple use case. I think very good just to showcase what you can do with it. Here I'm just like asking for the current time. And here specifically the Australia, please ignore that, it should be Germany. I'm asking for the time in Berlin that we have right now, and then all you can do is click on test. As you can see here, we are now getting like all the responses. Today is the 6th of December, so that worked. And now here you can add all the variables as all the responses as variables. In order for you to use them afterwards in the automation. That's exactly what I'm doing here in the AI chatbot node. So here I'm continuing with the AI chatbot node, and as the AI chatbot never has like any information about what time it is, what date it is, I can just add them here into the run guides, saying, hey, today's date is the following, and then here again working with the variables and just saying, hey, the response that I got back here, and as you can see here, I have to test it one more time. This is just like the formatted version that I'm just inputting here, and that works flawlessly. I think another very powerful use case here, especially like in that combination with the HTTP request node and the AI chatbot, is if you have a CRM tool or a shopware system, you can make a request based on the contact's phone number and receive all the data that you stored from that customer, from what he ordered last, from what kind of customer he is, so that you have like very powerful data to work here with, especially like in the AI chatbot. And then here, of course, that's also, I think, the second biggest use case is to do a post request, at the end or like during an automation, to just push data that you collected here in Superchat to external tools, do a post or put request. I think super powerful, definitely worth looking into. Exactly. So I think we already covered quite a bit. One thing that I forgot is our new delete conversation node. So here I haven't prepped like a workflow with it because I think this one should be very straightforward. So here you can either move the conversation to trash or delete the conversation permanently. Should be very self-explanatory. Nice. Two more things actually. Let's create a new automation really quick. Two more things. When I just go ahead here and add the trigger, we added a whole bunch of new filters. So you can filter by contact attributes. So here we have a whole bunch of contact attributes in here. You can filter now by labels, by channel type, which is super powerful. So, you know, if you have an automation that works across channels, here you can really then, you know, say, hey, when the automation is via WhatsApp or via email and so on, change the copy of the messaging whatsoever. So like a whole bunch of use cases there. And then also worth noting is we have assignment, whether the conversation is unassigned, assigned, contact list, inbox filter. Opening hours is super powerful, especially for WhatsApp, to choose whether you are sending out a WhatsApp template or just a generic message to save money. And sorry, the opening hours, that's regarding the inbox. What I meant is the chat window. So inbox hours, sorry for the confusion, is really about the opening hours that you provided for the inbox that the customer's messaging you on, and what I meant is the filter chat window. So like here we check whether the chat window is open or closed, and depending, you know, if it's open, you can probably work with a normal message node. If it's closed, if you are automating something on WhatsApp, you definitely have to work with a WhatsApp template. So always keep that in mind. Exactly, I think that's about it. Let's, email subject filter, click to chat, WhatsApp add ID filter, very specific use cases here, but for everyone that hasn't seen these yet and, you know, is just watching this and says like, that's cool, I think definitely worth checking out. Exactly. Then last but not least, here to the nodes is we have a randomizer node. As you can see here again, pretty self-explanatory. Here you can, you know, remove a path, add path, and then also change the contribution. Just, you know, to maybe test A/B test copy for specific marketing sales funnels that you are here implementing with Superchat. Or also, for example, we have customers that are creating lotteries with this. So they are saying basically, hey, sign up to our WhatsApp newsletter and get the chance to win a voucher, and then 5% of the people you just redirect here, and that, you know, these people will win something, and the rest of the people, 95%, will just, you know, don't win anything. So, you know, here you can see a whole bunch of use cases again, how you can actually use these new features. Then let's get to the last thing. So we added an internal node thing widget here. So this you can really use to document your automations with headlines, with lists, bullet points, and so on and so forth. So super powerful here to really document your entire automation, especially handy when your automations are getting more and more complex. Exactly. Last thing, and then we are also done already with automations, is here we have a new sharing functionality. Super powerful, because here you can do two things. You can either share your automation individually with, you know, some of your partners, customers, or you're also able to share your entire conversation with the entire Superchat community, so that, you know, everyone kind of can benefit from what you have built, and people really also giving you, you know, a couple of things in our Facebook community. So that's about it. I hope this was valuable and insightful, and that's it to automations.
That's automations, packed with powerful features to save you even more time and make your workflows even more efficient. See you in the next video. AI is everywhere, and now it's also part of Superchat. This year, we launched our AI chatbot to put the power of AI right into your fingertips. It's never been easier to be there for your customers 24/7. So let's take a look. Now we are about to create a chatbot. let's click on create. And first we will give it a name, in our case support bot. Then we will provide the prompt. The prompt contains the instructions for how the chatbot should behave and what it should do. I've already prepared something here, but you can also explore prompts from other businesses to make your start even easier. Next, we will provide some knowledge for the chatbot. This can be your internal company data, which you can add in the form of documents or directly from your website. Now, let's add our website here, superchat.com, enter add, click, and now we can also already create our chatbot. It's loading and voila, it's done. It's really that easy. Now we will show you that you've successfully created your chatbot, but keep in mind you still need to add it to an automation to make it accessible to your customers. Understood. And now we are in the settings of the chatbot that we have just created. Now here we can see everything. We can click on knowledge. Here we haven't uploaded any files, but we can see that we are still uploading all your website pages. We can go back to settings and basically do all the adjustments here. And on the right hand side, you can also test your entire chatbot and make adjustments accordingly. Now we still have to add the chatbot to an automation, so let's do this really quick. We will go to our automation builder, click new automation, and here we will create an automation from scratch, so click on this. And we first, of course, need to give it a name, so let's call it new support automation. Done. Perfect. Again, here we have to first select a trigger, the event that starts the automation. In our case, we will select the trigger new incoming conversation. So every time a new lead is messaging your business, we will start the automation. Here now we will select the channels that this automation should work for. And as you can see, this AI chatbot works really across all channels, from WhatsApp, live chat, to email, Telegram, and so on. So making it super versatile and super powerful. Now let's do our automation. So what do we want to do? We want to trigger the AI chatbot here. Let's clean everything up. So here now on the right hand side, we select the AI chatbot that we just have created. Now we can give it additional run instructions. This is just like an extension of the prompt that we already created. Super powerful to add even more context data here. Then do the exploration of the input, and then here at the bottom you can see two more settings. First of all, the human handover, super powerful. We automatically detect when contacts ask for human help, and then you can continue the conversation. And this you can do with the two connectors down below. And here for human handover, we will now just assign the conversation. And similar to this, when the conversation is marked as completed, so this is the other connector, we can just mark the conversation as done to keep your inbox tidy. And that's basically it. It's really that easy. We hit on publish and then the entire automation is already up and running. And this way you can really build super powerful AI chatbots in a few clicks. That was our AI chatbot. Super easy to set up, super intelligent and super powerful, and basically the superpower for your business. But that's really just the beginning. We already have huge plans for 2025, so you can definitely stay tuned and be very excited for what's to come. The web chat. In 2024, we focused on small but impactful updates. More customizations, more convenience, and everything you need for more seamless communication. Let's take a look.
So now we are also already in the web chat settings. So now let's go ahead and create one. In our case, we will create the web chat for our superchat.com domain. And now all we have to do in the first step is adding the communication channels that we want to add to this widget. In our case, we want to add WhatsApp, live chat, Telegram, and let's also add Instagram and Facebook. We will add them. Here we go. Now on the left hand side, we can even rearrange them, do whatever we want to do. And on the right hand side, we always see the preview of the web chat. So now we can also go ahead and add additional CTAs. In this case, we are supporting website, phone, and then also email. In our case, we will keep it simple and not do that now and just go ahead to the second step. In this step, we can really customize the entire appearance of our web chat to make it really tailored to your corporate identity. So now we will first add our super chat logo. Here it's being uploaded and add, and now you can already see it here in the preview. Now what we also want to do is we want to introduce parts of our team. Just like very nice to make everything a little bit personal, also really good for everyone that is about to text your business, so that they are already familiar with some of the faces from your company. Now we will adjust the gradient. You can either stick to the gradient or use just a color. We are going with a darker tone. I think that should be fine. Here we go. Perfect. Nice. We can also adjust the font color. We will stick to white. Now we can adjust like the behavior when the welcome message should appear. In our case, we only want to have it for desktop. We will change the icon to this round one. Keep it kind of round, so this looks good. Here we can adjust the color again. This is good as well. And now we want to position the entire web chat on the left hand side and give it a little bit more space. 13 pixels from top and bottom and left should be fine. Here we go. The avatar, we will also just stick to the default one. Now we are even able to hide the super chat branding, but we like it, so let's stick with this one here as well. So now next, here we can now manage all the localization, so adding languages that we want to support in the web chat. Then we can also customize all the copy down below, and here we can set a default. So we will set the language of the web chat based on the browser language. Once we don't support the language, we will always go back to the default you selected. So create it, and that's already it. So here on the right hand side, you can now see the code snippets that we provide for you. All you have to do is add this to the header of your website. Super simple. If you have an IT department and not doing it yourself, you can just send them here an email with one click. So like super convenient and really super easy to set up. Exactly. Now to our web chat SDK, especially for everyone that's a little bit more tech savvy. With this one, you can really change the behavior and control it also via code and do a whole bunch of things. All the information for this is provided in our API documentation here under web chat SDK.
That was the web chat. Small updates, big impact. And in 2025, there's even more to come. See you next year. The Contact Hub. This year we focus on making small yet super useful improvements. Nothing flashy, just very practical improvements to make working with contacts in Superchat even easier. Let's take a look. So now we are already in our Contact Hub, and at first glance not much seems to have changed. However, let's take a closer look together. For this, I will select all contacts here and then click on the new action Edit. With this feature, I can easily edit multiple contacts at once. In our case, we will update the newsletter attribute here to weekly. Additionally, we can update multiple attributes for multiple contacts simultaneously. For example, we will set the card type for all 6 selected contacts to SUV. All we have to do is click on Edit, confirm it, and then it's all done. But there's more. Let's now go ahead and set a filter here. This part you should already be familiar with. First, let's set the last name filter to Superchat 1. This is purely for data protection reasons since we are in our own Superchat account. Next, we will set the budget to greater than, let's say, 15K. And finally, the newsletter frequency to weekly. All of this should be very familiar. However, now you can save these filters as contact views. Simply give it a name, decide whether to make it accessible to the entire team or just for yourself, and then create it. Once saved, it will be available in the Contact Hub, allowing you, for example, to start a WhatsApp newsletter with just a few clicks by selecting Send WhatsApp Newsletter. And here now, as we all know it, we will give the campaign a name. We will select the number that we want to send the campaign from. We will pick and choose the WhatsApp template that we want to use. All the recipients here are already pre-selected. And now we can just send the WhatsApp newsletter off, and that's it. Super convenient, super fast, and that's it. That's the Contact Hub. Sometimes it's the little features that make the biggest difference. See you in the next video.
In 2024, we've been working on our HubSpot integration, relaunched our Zapier and Make apps, as well as our public API. But we also launched our integration marketplace, making it easier for you to find new integrations and explore popular use cases. But let's have a look together. Now we're in Superchat. Let's start in our all-new integration marketplace. This is a centerpiece for all the integrations and integration use cases we offer. We have 2 tabs for you, the Explore tab and the Connect tab. On the Explore tab, you see all the integrations and use cases per category, for instance, per CRM integration or marketing integration. On the Connect integration tab, you see which integrations you currently have installed. But let's have a look at the different categories and maybe e-commerce specifically. So once you click on the e-commerce tab, you see there are multiple integrations, and this is how one integration looks in detail. So you see the popular use cases, a quick guide, and once you're satisfied with what you saw and you want to try it out, just click Add, and you can then proceed with the setup. But for now, let's have a look at an integration that I've already connected with this Superchat account. In 2024, we shipped our major HubSpot integration, a direct integration that has 3 main use cases. First of all, you can sync and see all contacts and contact attributes inside the unified inbox and in the Contact Hub, as well as you can see all conversations that you have on Superchat in the contact view in HubSpot, and you can see any messages that you've sent or received on any channel through Superchat in the activity timeline of HubSpot. And there's one more use case that is really handy, for instance, for re-engaging with your contacts or for sending schedule reminders. This is sending templates or WhatsApp templates from the HubSpot workflows through Superchat. As you can see here, I have a quick flow where a contact is enrolled by its deal. When its deal is in the appointment scheduled stage in a pipeline, then I want to send a WhatsApp template. I use the WhatsApp template action from the Superchat app here. I select the channel and then I have a look at the right template. So there are multiple templates for this channel and I want to use the scheduling template, for instance. Then I use the phone number, or I add the phone number that I want to send the message to, as well as any variable that this template requires me to put in. And I can use all HubSpot contact attributes or deal attributes here. Well, let's jump back into Superchat, where I show you one final integration option that really enhances your work with our automation feature. In 2024, we launched the HTTP request action node. With this action, you can significantly enrich your automations with data from your CRM, shop system, or just send data to other automation tools like Zapier or Make. In this example, you see a flow where a user sends you an order update inquiry, and you then go ahead, send a message and asking for the order ID. You get that order ID and store it by the wait for reply node. And then lastly, you send it to your Shopify system to fetch all the order related details. This is all done with the HTTP request node, so have a look at it in detail. For popular services like Shopify, we have something called HTTP request templates, where you can directly select the action that you want to do, like get order information from the automation action menu. So here the URL is pre-filled, and you also have to fill in some other values like the store ID, which you get from the admin UI, or in this case also the order ID, which you get from the wait for reply node. Then you have to add authentication, but don't worry, we already have this pre-filled and you only have to add the authentication details or the key yourself. And lastly, you have to provide a test variable to test your request, and I already entered a valid order ID, so we can just click testing. As you can see here, we get now all the details for that order back from the Shopify system in this list. And at the top of this list, there's a search where you can search either for a value or for the field, which makes it super handy and super easy to find the actual data that you want to have. Once you find a data point or a field that you want to use later on, hit save, as I do here, and then you can use this variable later on in any send message node or in the update contact node, for instance. I stored the order tracking URL, so to say, and I want to use it in a final send message node where I just send this over to the customer so they can click it and then see the status of the order in their mobile browser once they clicked on the link. So let's do it here, add this, and then you're done. Once this automation will run, it will get the data from the customer, like the order ID, send it over to Shopify, and then finally sends a tracking link to the customer so that they can track the order in their web browser. With the updates in 2024 regarding to our integrations and integration marketplace, we laid the foundation for future integrations in 2025. So stay tuned and see what's coming next. But for now, over to you, Mika.
Danke fürs Zuschauen, schöne Grüße aus Berlin und ich freue mich schon aufs nächste Jahr. Da wird auf jeden Fall noch sehr, sehr viel kommen. Darum, ich halte es kurz. Bis dahin, ciao.